Remember the glory days of the PS2? I mean, I really hope so, otherwise you're gonna make me feel really old and send me into an existential crisis. But among the vast sea of games that gave us countless hours of procrastination, there's a hidden gem called Rule of Rose. Ever heard of it? Probably not. But if you are looking to buy it, you might be in for a shock, with it costing more than a brand new console. So why does this one seemingly normal game easily fetch over $500? Let me start counting my pennies as we dig in. Released in 2006, Rule of Rose was a bit like that indie band that only your most pretentious friends knew about. And yes, I was that friend. Developers Punchline really didn't have the resources for a big marketing campaign, so the game was pretty hard to get from the start. It's kinda like a one-off vinyl record, in that if you don't know about it before it releases, chances are it's gone forever. And this mythical status was only exacerbated with a good old dose of controversy. Rule of Rose really got some people upset, particularly in Poland, where the Ministry of Education questioned its suitability for minors, citing concerns over child violence and sexual themes. And let's not forget, this was a game that was sold and targeted exclusively to adults, and it just goes to show how games were still so misunderstood really not that long ago. Anyways, Italian weekly magazine Panorama, especially its journalist Guido Castellano, intensified the debate. Castellano criticized the game for its alleged erotic and violent portrayal of young girls, and inaccurately mentioned a burying alive game mechanic, which I stress didn't exist. While there is a scene where the protagonist falls into an open coffin, the coffin is later extracted, not buried. Jesus. By November 2006, 3 French deputies advocated for the game's ban, alleging it promotes horrific child abuse and murder. They even warned about video games as a whole potentially spiraling into unbridled sources of violence. They really do rehash the same things every few years, don't they? Adding fuel to the fire, the European Union Justice Minister Franco Frattini decried the game for its obscene cruelty, and even called for a total review of Europe's PEGI rating system. And things just got crazy after that. Some MEPs were pushing for a total ban of the game in Europe. And due to this mounting pressure and misleading media narratives, the game's European publisher 505 Games proactively pulled the game from the UK market. While the game was eventually released in the rest of Europe and copies were sent to UK journalists, it already had one arm tied behind its back, really through no fault of its own. Geez, that was pretty heavy and a lot of facts for me to remember, but what is Rule of Rose actually all about? Set in England during the 1930s, Rule of Rose follows the story of a 19-year-old woman named Jennifer. As the game begins, Jennifer finds herself lured into an abandoned orphanage, and then later trapped on a mysterious airship that's controlled by a group of malevolent young girls. You know, one of those really forgettable, uneventful days. These girls, who refer to themselves as the Red Crayon Aristocrats, enforce a strict and often cruel hierarchy based on a series of monthly gift offerings, which Jennifer is forced to participate in. Throughout the game, players uncover Jennifer's memories and piece together her tragic past. It becomes clear that the events on the airship are deeply entwined with Jennifer's own history, involving childhood friendships, betrayals, and a beloved dog named Brown, who assists Jennifer throughout her journey and I cannot stress enough is a good boy. Kind of in the same way as Lord of the Flies, a central theme of Rule of Rose is the cruelty children can exhibit towards one another, especially when unchecked by adult supervision. The game delves into the dynamics of power and submission, the vulnerabilities of childhood, and the distorted memories of past traumas. While the story of Rule of Rose can be quite ambiguous and is open to interpretation, it's celebrated for its emotional impact, mature themes, and unique narrative structure that defies many of the conventions of the survival horror genre. And while you do often get some pretty jank games that rise in value solely down to rarity, it never hurts for a game to be half playable too. And Rule of Rose is genuinely a hidden gem. Think of it kind of in the same vein as a haunting indie movie, with complex characters and a unique plot. Kinda Wes Anderson meets Tim Burton. And if you're anything like me, the fact that it's so offbeat makes it super attractive to those who love something a little bit different. And because of these things and more, the prices just kept rising. And you can never underestimate the power of word of mouth. As the world of forums, blogs, and social media blew up in the years after its release, Rule of Rose became one of the Holy Grail games to hunt down. And if that wasn't enough, at time of recording, there is no digital version of Rule of Rose out there. If you really want to experience Rule of Rose, you've got to go old school and maybe even remortgage your house and snag the original. You know, unless you find a ROM online, but what kind of ethical channel would we be if we suggested that? You should do that. Don't spend $500 on this game. In the end, the story of Rule of Rose is a testament to the unpredictable nature of the gaming world. What was once an overlooked title now commands a price that few would have expected, and in the process becoming a piece of gaming folklore in its own right. Whether it's the allure of its unique story, its rarity, or simply the desire to own a piece of gaming history, Rule of Rose serves as a cautionary tale to never turn down the opportunity to pick up an obscure game on a whim. You never know how much it might be worth. But if you played Rule of Rose, or are you currently hunting it down? Please let me know in the comments below, I'd love to read your thoughts. And while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe and like this video for plenty more on all things gaming, and make sure to visit UpsideDownShark.com to keep up with everything else we've got going on. Until then, my name is Tom, this has been UDS, and we'll see you next time.